Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, back to me, Budini Kusini. Today I'll present about trade policy uncertainty and trade diversions, evidence from Indonesian and ASEAN in the US-China trade war. So before I have been present our interactions and the literature review. Because of that, now I'll present the methodology and next. Before starting, I think I need to explain more about the research questions. How does global trade policy uncertainty arising from the US-China trade war affects Indonesian export performance relative to ASEAN peers through trade diversions mechanisms? So, to answer that research questions, we divide the dependent variable as exports to US. This is including 186 countries and with 1988 to 2021 observations year. And then this is the bilateral trade data with including trade policy uncertainty, and then Indonesian, ASEAN, and the interactions, and then the control that includes free trade agreements, the distance of country, and then with the memberships and some control, you use exporter fixed effects and then importer year fixed effects. So, how trade policy uncertainty is constructs and linked to exporter responses. First of all, I use trade policy uncertainty with Baker et al. Reference. He compiled articles from US major and international newspaper to capture policy-related economic uncertainty. And then it identified using keyword combination like tariff, quotas, and something like that. And then to introduce the heterogeneity, I use dummy like Indonesian XTPU and China XTPU and ASEAN XTPU. These interaction terms allow an effect that policy uncertainty to vary across the exporter groups. And then this is the method I use. I use threat diversion effects using PPML with high dimensional fixed effects to isolate uncertainty driven exporter responses. Why I use PPML? Because is it so good to handle zero threat falls and heterogeneity? And because of this, the threat data that's contain a lot of zero in the data, and if we use the basic regressions, the zero will drops and lowering my observations. With the PML, it can handle it. So, and then I use the two controls. The first one is exporter fixed effects. It can control all time invariant, and then importer year fixed effects. It can absorb all US specific shocks like exporter fixed effects ensure we compare each country only to itself over time, while importer year fixed effects remove all US specific shocks in a given year. And then I built the model to isolate global uncertainty from local trade factors. The first one, the baseline models. This is a regression about the dependent with all the interactions and then the dummy. And then the best, and then next one we use baseline model with trade policy controls. And then to confirm that we use baseline model plus trade policy controls, trade gravity controls, including distance and then market access. And then the next one, this is to ensuring our result true hold across the time. We using the pre-post method to robust the inclusion of standard gravity model, and then the examine whether these effects vary over time and intensifies during periods. And then the placebo test method, we use Latin America and Africa. Because this is can reserve a falsification exercise to ensure that our result is not driven by generalized substitution under global uncertainty. And this is the result I use. As you can see, in the baseline one, Indonesia has, uh, ASEAN has twice as large Indonesian. The both is positive, but ASEAN is twice as large. And the second model, as you can see, the third policy is still twice as large as Indonesia, even with we control after the trade. And then after we control with gravity, it's always twice as large ASEAN in Indonesia. These effects remain positive and highly significant, even though we're controlling all the result with the modeling we used before. While the ASEAN exports accelerate relative to Indonesian, particularly, this is we generate it we using data, as you can see, the graphs. Okay, next. Okay, this is the result after we using the placebo and the pre-pause US-China trade war. As you can see in Latin America and African, in Latin America, Indonesia in still negatively significant, and African is positively significant. It can ensure that Indonesia and ASEAN is uh, gaining positive, not because just the trade policy uncertainty, but because of the country itself. And then, based on the research, this is my recommendation to enhance Indonesian's manufacturing. Next, this is the references. Okay, thank you so much, Budini, to hear my presentations about the paper. You can read as well the paper to know more and more detail about my paper. Thank you so much, Budini Guzini.